Hello everyone and welcome to the Dancers Beat podcast. I'm your host, Brett Davenport. We have a very special episode this week. We have the founders and artistic directors of the Shake the Ground Dance Competition and the Universal Ballet Competition, the wonderful David Lucas and Lissette Lucas. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to get right into, we're going to start with your professional dance careers and how you got started in dance, what your inspirations are, and how that led you into starting these two companies. So Lissette, you want to go first. What was your earliest inspiration and influences to start dancing professionally?
Okay, well, I started dancing because of we're Cuban, my family's Cuban, and we're very close-knit, and we had a very bad accident, a car accident that I lost my grandfather in, and my grandfather was everything to us, to my family, and because my family was mourning so much, they wanted me to start dance, and that's why I started ballet, to get me out of the house so that I wouldn't be amongst my grandmother and my mother and my father and my brothers, mourning my grandfather so much for an extended time. So because I was very close to him.
Okay.
And so I started dancing through that, and at 6 years old, I was 6 years old when I started, and every performance as I went through the years, I dedicated each performance to my grandfather.
Oh, wow.
And, because he was always watching me, and I felt it. We were very religious,
mm-hmm.
and, he was always my guardian angel growing up. And as I danced, and as I went further in my career, it was always my grandfather there with me as well. And so I started dance, ballet. We only did ballet at that time, and it was just wonderful. I had a wonderful experience. I started with Liana Navarro, and she truly showed me the love for dance. So it started there. I also trained with Mariana Alvarez, as she was an inspiration, and Judy Neiman. They were both professionals with San Francisco Ballet and Stuttgart Ballet, and they really, all three of them were very prominent in my growing up as a dancer.
Okay.
In high school and all, I was always the dancer that, at that time, back then, it was, in the 70s, it wasn't like they were dance teams or anything like that. You had a talent and that was special, so the schools will always, put that talent out there. So as I, went on, I did the Prix de Lausanne competition and got seen, went to summer intensives, at San Francisco Ballet at 12 years old, and when I came back from that summer intensive, I was 12, and I remember that I said, this is what I want.
Oh, wow.
I want to be a dancer. This is what I'm going to do. And I told my father that. I said, Dad, I'm going to be a dancer. This is what I want. And I just, worked on that. I loved it, my passion for it, and I got lucky as well. Everything aligned itself. That I got the opportunity to dance with the Joffrey Ballet. I joined the Joffrey 2 dancers and then the Joffrey Ballet. I danced with them for 9 years. It was an incredible, beautiful career. And then I went to the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. I danced there at Royal Winnipeg. I met David. And I had other opportunities to dance with the Daring Project, with Valentina Koslova and Margot Sappington. And I also had the opportunity to work with Edward Villela for Miami City Ballet when it was opening.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of the first dancers that, before it actually even opened, I worked with Edward Villela and Allegra Kent in Concerto Barocco, and to open the Miami City Ballet. And that was an incredible experience. So I've had opportunities like that. Of course, I've auditioned for them and gotten the opportunities, to head me in the career that I've always dreamed of. And by performing and meeting people and working with choreographers, I've truly felt like I lived my dream that way.
Yeah.
I then went to the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. I had a lot of choreographers work with them, and I did some guestings, and from the guestings, it led me to, unfortunately, an injury
Okay.
that led me to, we had to decide we were going to go to dance at the Leeds in northern England to perform there. I was going to do a dual company contract with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet and with the Northern Ballet in Leeds with David Nixon.
Okay.
I had that opportunity, and unfortunately I had got an injury, and that was no longer, and we had to think of what we were going to do, and we moved to Florida.
Okay.
My brothers helped him, and we started Shake the Ground and then Universal Ballet Competition, and here we are today.
Oh wow! So you had like and I think that's important for a dancer or any young artist to know, is that you can take tragedy and pain and turn it into something beautiful, and that is not just for dance but for any art form and any artistic journey what we all kind of aspire for.
Absolutely, and absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, and you never know where your path takes you. You have that belief, you have that passion inside, you have that love that, while you're studying your ballet, your technique and all, and it just builds, and it truly builds, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And to have something like that happen, that's so devastating.
Right.
Either, my grandfather passing away that led me this way, and then my injury, it was a really low part in our life, and but it was something that I had to go through.
Yeah.
And then finding that path of having a family, our son and our daughter, and then going beyond that and starting teaching and going into a competition and developing something so incredible is very rewarding. Yeah. And I'm very lucky.
Yeah. I think it's difficult for someone going through painful things like that because you have a roadmap of how you'd like your life to go and your journey to go. But if you do stay open to possibilities, sometimes tragedies or things that seem like a door closing in your face is actually an opening to another path that you're really meant to go down.
And you have to have the faith.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to believe at
yes.
that moment that this tragedy is a reason that something better is
Right.
coming.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, then it's only
And it's hard to understand at that
devastating.
moment, but you just, it does, it's that belief, exactly
Yeah.
what you said, yes.
Yeah, because there's been so many times that we think this is crazy, this is awful, but then you realize later, oh, if that hadn't happened, then we wouldn't have had all this.
Yeah.
Become so.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because from moving from Miami, moving to New York, starting my career there, then moving it to Winnipeg, and then going, what were we going to do if I didn't go back to England to continue my career, together, and, went back to Florida, and another path just developed, a beautiful path.
So art and dance created this whole life for you.
Exactly.
That's really
Definitely.
beautiful. Yeah. David, so how did you get started in dance? What were your earlier inspirations?
My family is Scottish and English. So I was born in England when I moved to Canada when I was 3 and raised in Canada. But because my family's Scottish, our next door neighbor was a Highland dancer. And so when I was 8 years old, one of my presents was to start doing Highland dancing.
Okay.
And so I started Highland dancing, loved it, did a ton of competitions, became very proficient at it, was a champion of Highland dancing. And the Highland Dance studio was in a ballet studio, which was above. And it happened that the founders of the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, when they retired, they moved to Kelowna, where it's my hometown, and started a ballet studio there called the Canadian School of Ballet. So to make Highland dancing is very precise and efficient and very quick-footed. So they put me into the ballet to enhance my Highland dancing, to make it more technical. And I think I was 8, and I thought the ballet was so slow, and I'm going, this is boring, I don't want to do this and everything. So I only took a few classes. I think I did like one show with them or whatever. And then I kept with the Highland, and Highland is very much like gymnastics. It's a young man's sport and young person's sport. So I went back into the ballet. Again, they asked me to do it, and I think I was 12. And so I was in the class, there was me and like 30 girls, and the teacher asked me to put my arm out, and the girls came and did a PK, and I go, oh, this is kind of cool. So I really enjoyed the ballet after that. And everyone was running around. They said, everyone run around like a butterfly and everything. And so I stood there and I said, I'm not going to run around like a butterfly. So she said, run around like an eagle. So I ran around like an eagle, doing exactly the same as the girls, but I was an eagle. So I loved the ballet after that. And so I enjoyed the ballet, did a lot of performance with the Canadian School of Ballet, and then auditioned for the National Ballet School in Toronto. I got accepted there, and the founders who were my teachers said I have to go to Winnipeg, but at the time Winnipeg didn't have a professional academic school, and both my parents, my dad was a principal and my mother was a school teacher, so they said the academics are very important, so you can audition for the National and go there on the condition, the founders said that once you graduated from the National, you'd have to go to Winnipeg. Okay. So I went to the National Ballet School, grade 12, a long time ago, graduated, and then went to Winnipeg. I was in Winnipeg in the school, and then joined the company, and was in the company, I think, 15 years professionally. Met Lissette coming to Winnipeg. We danced quite a few roles together, and what's great about the Winnipeg is it travels a lot. So we went through all the US, we danced in many different countries, Venezuela, Mexico, Europe, Japan, everywhere. So it's a great company to see the world and everything. So I really enjoyed that. The repertoire is great, and had many opportunities and just loved it and everything. Then we met Lissette. I retired in my 30s, I think I was when I retired after 1999, and then I did a TV kids series called The Toy Castle.
That was where you were the strong man?
I was the strong man and everything. So it was a fun experience, because after retirement, to get to do opportunities like that for the kids and have kind of a TV show that was based on dancing and stories as well. So that was kind of a fun experience. And then after that, we decided to move to Florida. Okay. So, and that's when things came about there, and I worked with Lisette's brother in some companies in Florida there, and then we decided to start Shake the Ground. Okay. So,
Dave, I've heard you say before, I think it was at a Q&A or something, that you said that dance provides like a good foundation and discipline, and dancers often go on to become good in other areas of life, like business or anything like that. What do you think it is about dance that does that?
So I think the structure of dance is very much, I always kind of relate it to the Army. The Army is always regimental, and you're marching, you have a structure, you get up in the morning, you do the marching, and it's very disciplined in the Army. Ballet is very much like that. You start in the morning with your class, and you have set exercises, which you go, pliés, tendus, things, and it's always a structure. And because you have that discipline of the structure that you need to follow, and it advances you slowly as better and better every single day by doing that structure.
And memorizing.
And memorizing,
and, you're learning all these ballets.
Right.
You take class, you start at 9 a.m., and then you finish at 6 p.m. and doing different repertoires all day long, and learning choreographies and working with choreographies and remembering all the ballet, a full-length ballet, a 3-hour ballet, a 2-hour ballet. That creates memorization
and also you're in a company, so you learn to work together. Yeah. Working in quarter ballet, you have to be exactly the same, opposite at the same time, and look the same. So you have that discipline of the mentality of a team spirit, and also the discipline of doing the best you can at everything you do, picking up quickly, getting the task done in that. So anything that you learn in the world of dance can be applied to anywhere in any field, in any business. And you have the quickness and the sharpness that your mind has always been challenged to learn quickly and pick up a choreography and even to apply corrections. Every day you'll have something new that you're working on, and to advance as a dancer, you have to fix this correction. You can't just get stuck. Right. So that can be applied in business as well.
And that's excellent, because we are constantly getting feedback. Okay, this has to look better like this. This is not correct. How do we go into that turn to make it look, effortless? Right. All those things, we're always trying to improve ourselves. Yeah. It's a constant.
Yeah. Right.
And so I think in any field, in school, you're already preparing yourself for that.
Right.
So that's why, no matter what you're going to do, you're going to succeed with those principles in yourself, because you've created that, because dance does that.
Yeah.
Right. And also as a dancer, you have to be like a sponge to take in any corrections and everything. So you take criticism, you take, positive feedback, negative feedback, but you're always learning to take that feedback. So in business, you always get corrections and whatever. And if you're not used to that, then sometimes it can be a negative thing. But as a dancer, you get these from your boss, you got to fix this, you got to fix this. And as a dancer, you're used to getting that to make corrections. Right. So it's not a negative thing, it's a positive thing to make you better as a dancer, to make you better in business.
Yeah.
And I think that's the mentality a dancer has, that they take with them, because many dancers go on to be brain surgeons, heart surgeons, doctors, and they're the best in their fields because of the dancer mentality. Yeah. So it's pretty incredible.
So even I think it's good for a dancer to know, a young dancer, that even if you may not have like a long professional dance career, the skills that you're developing right now as a dancer will definitely apply to whatever you do.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, because most dancers have a career maybe till 30, 35, 40, but not far past that.
Some do, some exceptions, of course.
Yeah, exceptions. But
it's what you want for your life.
But I think these days, especially, a dancer has to think beyond a dance career of what they want to do next. Mm-hmm. And many dancers now, they,
go to colleges.
Yeah, in our generation, people maybe didn't even graduate from school because they started careers early. And then you need to at least have your grade 12. But now, it's necessary to have a college degree if you want to go to the next step. So, people do correspondence and stuff at the same time.
Or they go to universities, they have their career, and then they go to university, or they do it at the same time as well. Right. Because they can do it online. Mm-hmm. And now there's a lot more possibilities you can do whatever you want to do, really.
Yeah.
And also with the internet, it opens doors to searching for things. Yeah. Like in our day, we had to call and fax or whatever. We didn't have even computers. I mean, I'm aging myself really bad, but we didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. We had landlines, so it's a completely different thing. There was no Facebook, social media and stuff, which can be a very positive thing, social media, but it can also be a very big distraction. Right. So you really have to keep that balanced.
Definitely.
So maybe now more than ever, something like dance, an artistic journey like dance is so important because there are so many distractions for young people, and because technology makes things so readily available, it is easy to kind of be complacent and to be at home and not like go out and engage in the world where, all the dancers here are meeting new people, they're learning new things, and they do that throughout the whole year, every year. And so I think maybe now more than ever, it's important to have something like dance in a young person's life.
Right.
Well, dance makes you smile. I mean, the music, it brings your inner child in you. It really does. Yeah. As an adult, at any age. And I just think that dance is just wonderful. For everyone. Truly, any kind of dance. Not just ballet, any kind of dance. Yeah. Hip hop, jazz, anything that your heart desires. You hear the music and it makes you like, like I put music on. The first thing I do in the morning is put music because it's how it inspires me. Right. Just to get going with the day. Yeah. And it sets my mood. And that's from my father as well. My dad used to do that. And he'd have Cuban music on, Latin music. And I love my Latin music. And we would dance every morning. First thing, just dancing together, and that just sets you happy, It's like, it fills your heart. Yeah. It truly does. I talk about my heart a lot because I think it's so important, and we have to be, kind in this world. Yes. It's that, and we're in a place that is about giving, and by giving, it's beautiful. Yeah. And that's just part of it.
Yeah. Right. And also with social media, there is so much opportunity to find great choreographers and great forms of dance that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before. And to make yourself a well-rounded dancer, you can experiment with different styles until you find your niche as a dancer. Because not every dancer will become a classical dancer. Or maybe there's a contemporary company out there that's perfect for them. Like I feel every dancer, there is a place for them. It's just finding that place, I think...
If that's what they want.
If that's what they want. But also dance isn't necessarily a professional dance career.
Right.
Like
Right.
you can be a dancer and be a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, you're expressing your soul of what you've learned of dancing through, you know, making somebody's heart come back to life or
Yeah.
something. You know, it's still an experience of expression to the beauty of dance is everywhere.
It's,
really.
it's a connection.
Yeah.
It's a connection.
As an actor, once I started doing these competitions as a host, I kind of wished that I had a dance background, because you're not only are you telling a story emotionally, so you have to learn that and you have to get connected in that way, but you also are kind of like an athlete.
Right.
So you're combining like these two kind of like pursuits that are so great, because a lot of actors, for instance, they're not really embodied, and then they get on stage and they're like, I don't know what to do with my arms, I don't know what to do with my legs. But a dancer is never going to have that problem because they're fully embodied. It's part of their art form.
Well, a dancer has to train so that, you know, we're constantly, our body is our tool.
Yeah.
So we have to feed it, we have to protect it, we have to take care of it,
Yeah.
we have to nurture it. We have, you know, you train it and form it. Like I always say, like, you know, like clay.
Mhm.
You're transforming that body. You're molding it how you want it to look.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and so you put everything into it. You know, you condition it. You do your yoga, your stretch, your fitness.
Yeah.
Because you need that stamina as well. So I just think it's a beautiful art form,
Well,
physically and mentally.
It's
Yeah.
very much like
Yeah.
acting in a way, because when you're an actor, you have to go over your lines till you memorize them, so they become like second nature.
Mhm.
So when you do the role, you don't have to worry about what you have to say, you worry about becoming the character.
Right.
So dancing is like that. When you're taking so many classes, it becomes second nature, that this is the step, this is the turnout, this is the pirouette. And then you become the character of like the swan in Swan Lake, you know, Giselle, you know, and that's what dancers are, like actors. But instead of writing lines, the movement of
It's their
lines
body.
is their body.
It's our tool.
Okay. Well, I think that was all great stuff there.
Yeah.
So then we'll go into the impetus of how you started the companies. What was it about your experiences as a dancer, and then your experiences maybe judging or teaching at other competitions, that impacted how you operate UBC and Shake today?
Okay, great. Well, you know, when I had my injury, we moved to Florida and started our family. And then I started teaching a little bit, put my resumes out for judging and all. And I got a few judging jobs that I went to. And, you know, I saw things that I felt that could be more about the dancer, of how we can help them in a way of, competition is a competition, but we want it to be more than a competition, not just about competing, but making it an experience that the dancer leaves there going, wow, this is incredible. You know, they're leaving with information.
And they leave inspired.
Yeah.
Leaving
to
inspired.
continue. Not upset that they didn't win first place or whatever.
Because, you know, as a dancer, I also competed, David also competed, and I did the Prix de Lausanne many years ago, and I was 15 years old, and I was like, oh my God, it's the Prix de Lausanne, and I was so excited to do it, and so my teacher Mariana and Judy Neiman, they took me to New York City. It was the Prix de Lausanne in New York that they had done it that year, and it was just, you know, very intense. It's an intense feeling. You know, you don't know what you're walking into, and I was performing. It was the most amazing experience. I loved it, but you know, I didn't win. I got into the semifinals, and I was all excited, and then I got cut, and I was like, wow. You know, you're always a little bit like upset that you get cut, you know, but out of that experience, I got seen. Mr. Robert Joffrey was there, and he came up to me after he saw me dance and perform, and he said, I want you in my company. Just like that. I remember, I will never forget that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was 15, and here's Mr. Joffrey that he had just seen me, you know. He's, you know, of course he was thinking of the future, but with that in mind, he, you know, had me go to the Joffrey at San Antonio workshop for the summer intensive. So he says, I want you here. So I went to the Joffrey summer intensive then and worked with him, and that's where the experience went. So when I was judging, years later, when I was judging at another competition, and I saw, you know, different opportunities that I think that we could do for dancers. So I said to David was there as well, and he was there, and he goes, I said, David, we need to do something for the dancers. Not just about who's bringing the most competition, but about the dancer. How can we help them? And he goes, okay, what are you thinking? I said, I don't know, but we have to come up with something, a better system for judging, so that we cannot write. How can you write and look up at the same time and, you know, fill a whole solo with corrections? We have so much to say.
So you had to do all that by hand while you were watching the performance?
So in the old days, judges used to watch a competition, and some competitions still do it. They write the comments on a paper while the dancer's dancing. So the problem with that we find is that if a dancer, well, for example, a dancer's doing a jump and the judge will write, make sure you stretch your leg on that one jump. Well, how does a teacher know from that paper what jump they're talking about?
Because you could have many jumps.
Yeah. Right.
So we came up with a system that uses video judging, where the studio gets 3 videos, one from each judge, and it's the dancer actually competing, and the voice of the judge will be heard at the same time as over the dancer dancing. So the dancer will jump and go, oh, make sure you stretch your leg on that jump. The teacher later on will see the video and say, connect the two together because they see it. So it's a great tool for the judges, because after 400 routines, the hand of the judge is worn out, and they just have to push start and record, and then they can talk. And then it's also great for the studio because they can see the correction live on the video as well.
Okay.
So that's one aspect. But when we were in the car driving back to our home, when we were talking about starting a competition, we're like, okay, so those are one things that we could do better. Like something that, we hadn't heard of video judging yet at that time. So this is something that we we didn't start because we don't do the computers, but something that we talked about to find somebody that does that, that we can create it.
Right. Yeah. So UBC is the only competition that does the video judging, which is great. And the other
back then.
Well, even still, I think.
I'm not sure.
But the other aspect to it is that it's a hands-off for us. So whatever the judge does after they record, they put in the score, and it goes straight to a computer. It's added up, and the score is
it's tabulated, and
so there's no changing or adjusting scoring. So it's a very fair and biased competition.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if a studio is bringing 50 entries to it. If this dancer who has 4 entries comes first or whatever, that's the result, and it's in the hands of the judges.
And I think that's important to know, is that the judges, when they're judging, they don't know what studio the dancer is from. They don't have any of that information.
They do not.
And we also, I think one thing that I've heard from many of the judges that come and work with us is that they really appreciate that we give the adjudication right after the performance.
Yes.
Right? So we were talking about the importance of the adjudication being read right after, and how the judges are not privy to what studio the dancers are from. And you were saying that the importance of that is transparency. So if you want to continue on that.
Right. So we felt that as a competition, we wanted to be fully transparent on what the judges were doing, and making sure that the audience knew that the scoring and everything was in the hands of the judges. We're fully hands off. The computer system is fully in the thing. So what we added was, when the score of the judges is put into the system, right after that routine, the MC...
It's tabulated?
It's tabulated, and the MC announces the adjudication level that person would have received for that dance.
Okay.
So there's no adjustments that could be made because it's already been announced.
Right.
Correct. And it's just the adjudication, so they will just know that where they're, that solo...
The level that they've achieved, not the actual score number. So.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I also noted when I was talking to Wes in our previous episode, Wes Chapman, when he does these scholarships and special awards, he's also very cognizant of telling the audience that this is what the computer this is the scores that were tabulated.
Right.
We didn't adjust this in any way, and this is why this person has won whatever
For the
award.
final, for the Legacy Award or the Aspire Award, correct?
Yeah.
That's correct. And it's a great system. We stand behind it. We stand behind our judges. Our judges are phenomenal. They know they're also for the dancers. There's no, they're professionals that love and care for the art and truly want to help the dancers.
Yeah.
So their comments and that they give them for the judging, and in class we have classes as well. So this is another part of how we can do better for the dancers, is give them a class. I used to love in the company taking class on stage. I love that because it sets you up for the day. You get an awareness of the stage. You start feeling, and so with that little gesture of having class on stage is tremendous.
Yeah. So
we incorporated that into UBC as well and into Shake the Ground, having that class on stage. And that way the dancers, before they even compete, are on the stage feeling it, getting that center, because it's so important.
And giving the experience of what it's like to be in a company, that they would have that warm-up on stage before they do the performance.
Yeah. Exactly. We don't judge the class, but we do
give selections for...
have scholarship selections on them.
Yeah.
So they have to take a ballet technique class and a contemporary class at UBC. They're either on stage or they'll be in the studio. But how we started was always on stage, and that's something for the dancers. So again, when we started the competition, why we wanted to do the competition is to make something greater for them, an experience that they do leave there going, wow, it doesn't have to be a scary moment. It could be an enriching moment. It could be you're going to have nerves. Nerves are part of everything, and it's dealing with them. But how can we do that better?
Yeah.
How can we help them? Because I was one of those that would get nervous as well. But I love the stage. So once I stepped on that stage, it was my jewelry box. It was my, it was that moment that nothing else mattered. And even if it's a competition and if you're trying to win something, you're gonna win something. You're gonna win that experience. You're gonna become better because you're doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
And every little correction that you're getting, being seen, having those moments, that's what we want to create.
Yeah.
That's what we've created.
And that's one thing that we also added that's unique to UBC, is that we have the competitive level, but we also have the intermediate level. And the reason we did that is because there are some dancers that are homeschooled and going on a very fast track to be very precise and technical and stuff. But then you have the other dancers that are getting to that level, but maybe at a slower rate. And it would be difficult for them to compete in the same level as a competitive dancer right from the start. So we would find that dancers would go there and they would leave very frustrated and upset because they wouldn't place or do well against the other competitive level. So we created the intermediate level, which is kind of like a stepping stone into the competitive level for them.
For dancers like that, for the first competition, because it's hard to compete first competition with a dancer that's already been competing for like 5 years, that they know what to expect. And that's part of the life, but we could also help them gain that confidence to help them continue and seeing that, we don't want the dancer to go, I'm never going to be like that. It's not about them, the other person, it's about yourself. But with all social media and all the influences out there, we have to remember that they're young.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're young dancers, and for us, our main thing is to help them, honestly. In a great way mentally, because your mind plays games. It does. It always does, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
I always get nervous even to teach because I want to do great for them, because I want to be inspiring for them.
Right.
So things like that, I think, are very important.
So we kind of have three parts to UBC. One is the competition part, of course. The second part is the master classes, where we have because we have a huge network of dancers, world-renowned judges that we have that are directors and friends of ours now, and this network continually grows, which we can bring in these world-renowned teachers to teach as part of the master classes.
And they all believe the same way.
And then the third part is the opportunities after the competition and the classes to go on to summer sessions, to give scholarships for that. And we also give scholarships for colleges now to give to get into like Point Park to do a full as a professional dance program as well. So it's not just a competition, because a competition doesn't define you as a dancer. So it's great to win first place at our competition, but you may not win first place at another. That's not what defines you. Your competition is really against yourself and your journey as a dancer. But to help that journey, we have these amazing masterclass teachers, and we also have amazing opportunities. I think last year we did $3 million in scholarships in our competitions to give out to dancers to go into summer schools, summer sessions, where they get chosen to get into companies and other opportunities. So that, as much as the competition and the classes inspire us, it inspires us to see the dancers continue their journey and the opportunities they've had from what we've been able to give to them as well.
And we have many dancers at Ballet West.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they'll rate us and let us know how they're doing and what the experience that they have, that they're just having a great time.
Yeah.
Others are at Cincinnati Ballet, San Francisco Ballet, in different companies and schools. And it's just great that they're living their dream. It's amazing,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my God, because it is so incredible.
Right.
And it's something that, it's not for everyone, definitely not for everyone, but if it is for you, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
I would do it again.
Yeah.
That's how much I loved it, because I love it. I love dancing. I love the art. I love.
Right, and for us to see other people love it as much as we love it,
Yeah.
and that we've been able to help them continue that journey is fulfilling for us as it was for us to be
Right.
dancers.
Exactly.
So it's
Yeah.
great.
I think one of the overarching themes that I've noticed doing the podcast, and I think it's really helpful for dancers to know, is that the judges, the founders of the company, everyone there is rooting for you as a dancer. And it can be nerve-wracking, and you can put so much pressure on yourself for a 2-minute performance. But because we have the classes, and because we have this kind of mantra of being there for the dancers, it's not just about that 2-minute performance. There's how you show up in class, how you treat people while you're at competition, and everyone is rooting for you. And so maybe that would be helpful for them to know and really instill in their minds, so that 2 minutes isn't so nerve-wracking and so pressurized, that
Right.
you can kind of show up to that and maybe more a fulfilled version of yourself, knowing that everyone there is rooting for you, and the judges aren't just judging you, they're advocates for you.
It's exactly, and and we do watch them in class, and sometimes they return the following year, and you start to see them grow, and you're just seeing the growth, their path, and maybe on that competition day they didn't do how they wanted to do, but we're still seeing that growth, and we believe in them,
Right.
So it's
Right, but I think also UBC helps dancers getting a bigger appreciation, an appreciation for what they've accomplished, but also appreciation for who's behind them, helping them to get that accomplishment. Not only UBC and the judges and all the classes and opportunities, but also the teachers, the studios, the parents, because I think when they see the whole overall experience and the love of dance, they appreciate more the people that have helped them get to the place that they're at now, which is a real beautiful thing about dance and the accomplishments they see, and they realize that it's not just about a competition, it's about the overall experience.
Yes.
Exactly. Like looking back, I'm constantly thinking of my teachers that started me off, and that love that they instilled in me. I still remember, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And they will talk about it too, because it's something that it's a part of their journey. It's their journey.
Yeah. And the competition, of course, is important, but I think your story highlights that it is more about the journey itself and who you become by being on that journey. Like you said, meeting Robert Joffrey, you didn't win that competition, but you were singing.
I was singing, and I got a contract.
And your whole life changed after that. So, even with scholarships, sometimes like a dancer might be disappointed that they didn't get a certain scholarship or didn't win or something, but a lot of times like a certain company is looking for a certain aesthetic, and you may not have fit in for that company, but there's another company
Right.
Exactly.
that
And
might
just
be
have
more
to-
for you.
And you just have to continue believing and continue working and having that faith that, if it's what you want and you really have that passionate and you're working, nothing comes easy.
Yeah.
It
Right.
doesn't come easy. Everything
Yeah.
is, you have to work for it, but that work is so fulfilling when it does show, and it will. And it's not like, oh, I won this. Because what are you going to do with a trophy?
Right. And even the competition at UBC, it's not based on body types, to who comes first place because you fit into this mold.
Right.
It's based, the judges look at so many different criteria, like they can see your expressions, they can see how your technique is, it's not
Musicality.
your musicality.
There's it's everything. And same thing at Shake. Same
Right.
thing with Shake the Ground. We have our judges that are phenomenal as well. They're all first class caliber, and they all have their gifts, and they all want the same thing of watching those dancers grow and helping them, bringing it out.
So now I want to talk a little bit about your philosophy about the environment you create at these competitions, and part of the environment is the crew that we work with. And I personally can tell you, they're some of my favorite people. I enjoy coming to work because we all are really wonderful people, funny, kind. We all get along. How do you think that happened? Because obviously you two do the hiring. So what do you look for in crew members, and how do you hope that they impact a competition? Because we get very positive feedback about our backstage crew in particular from the dancers.
Yeah.
So what did you two do to make that happen?
I think one of the main things is we don't hire local people. It's crew that have come with us and traveled with us. It's not just people that we pick up on the spot to run a boutique or whatever. A lot of our crew members have been with us since the day one.
14 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important that they've all been trained by us, have worked with us very well, and they all know our philosophy and what we expect and what we want to present to the studios.
Our whole thing is, I want the families, the teachers to know how much we appreciate them, and how much when they enter those doors, that it's about them and how we can make this experience great for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that we always. Once we get somebody that wants to come in, that is the first thing I say. It's if you're having not a great day, you have to deal with that on your own.
Yeah.
But when you're there at the competition, you're there for others, for the dancers. How we make that experience for them once they enter, because we don't want them to feel that tense.
Right.
We want them to enjoy themselves even as they're coming in, checking in the registration. I know it's silly, but I spray the lobby area just to have it so that they can come into a theater or a high school that it smells like, wow.
Right.
This is
Helping them carry their bags to the back,
Right.
making sure they know where they're going.
Our crew helps them with their bags. If they have big bags and they're young little dancers that they can't carry, we always ask, do you need help? We'll help you to take it to the back. It's about giving. They've had so much, the families, it's not it's an expensive, competitions are expensive. Right. They really are. And if they're doing multiple competitions to get that experience, it adds up. So how can we make it better for them and for the families, so that we even have our cafecitos going around to help the parents. We give them little, coffee, cafecito,
Cuban coffees.
Cuban coffees, and it's just to make that much better.
Yeah. So many times we're at a competition and everyone comes up to us and says, we love the competition, yes, but we love the crew just as much. So Lissette and I feel the competition, UBC and Shake the Ground, are just as much important because of the crew as it is the template and the judges and everything.
Our crew is everything. They're our family. We say crew, but they're our family. And they work the hardest. They're just phenomenal. They're phenomenal people.
Yeah.
They love the competitions. They love. We love being together. Like my favorite part is. When we all meet on the Thursdays before we set up, and then we go for dinner. I love that because we're a family and we have that time to bond and to be together and just laugh and then we're ready for the weekend and we go and we have to have fun because you have to go through your life enjoying what you're doing. And so that's one thing that we constantly do, try to do it and trying to see how we feel people out when they're coming, if somebody's coming in new, we see how they, they work.
And when Shake the Ground, they have the prop dads at the back, we're giving them the coffee, sometimes buying them lunch, but we're always helping them set up the props, bring in the props and sets and everything like that. So we try, our crew always, without us even telling them, goes above and beyond to help people because they know that's the presentation that Shake the Ground and UBC want to give to the people.
I feel like that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
We're here to, if we have a gift, we need to give that gift.
Yeah.
And
but
I always given a gift.
I think it all stems back to Lisette's and his career, is that as a performer, you always every night give 100% in the presentation and performance to the audience. And our fulfillment was at the end if you got a standing ovation or the audience really reacted to some of the steps you did. So we kind of took that template of what we felt as dancers to put that into Shake the Ground and UBC to make it a performance and presentation that the people would love when they come to us. So we have the lobby when they come in, it's always really nice. Has flowers that Lissette puts at the back. It has the nice pop-ups, the presentation.
Has candles for calmness.
And nice boutique, not just cheap stuff, but nice stuff that is quality.
And everybody that deals with certain things, like like Jackie at our boutique, she loves her boutique. So she makes it as special as she can.
Right.
Lynn at the registration makes it as fabulous as she can. Anything that she can do to help.
Even the photos and videos, we did a lot of work into making it so when our very great photographers and video people, once they've done the photo video, within a few minutes it's in the lobby ready to be viewed on the tablets that we've created the software for, and they can just purchase it and it's sent to them in an email and they can download it right away. Like stuff like that, instead of having to wait 2 weeks for your videos to be sent to you, and that it's like
we have a crew of 12 to 14, and each of them are so important.
Yeah.
Like if we have a double competition, we split them up. We don't like to split up because we all love to be together.
Yeah, it is always a bummer.
But we know that we have 2 crews that are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And strong, and that they're amazing people, and that is it. They're amazing people, honestly, and they're all driven. They all, and they all come from different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So but they all believe in what we're trying to do, and they want to do it, which is beautiful.
And I think what you said is so important for an artist to know is that, of course, we all want to be great, and we all love individual accolades, and it's nice to get attention, but I think, and my philosophy is, and yours is too, is that art is you're giving of yourself. It's a service, And I think what you two do such a great job of, when I first started with the company, is that you made me feel so welcomed. I mean, and everyone around, I joked with people. I was like, are they paying people to say nice things about me, or is this real? But you do such a great job of setting the tone for everybody. And then that, for me personally as a host, I then feel like I'm best set up to give my best for everyone. And I feel the same way, is that they're here working so hard, these dancers and these moms and these teachers, and everyone gives so much of this. It's the very least we can do is be of service to them. And these little details that you talk about may, in and of themselves, you may not think they're important, but all these details add up to such an important experience. And we are, I think that philosophy is very important to instill as an artist, is that your performance is a gift to the audience, and your journey is a gift to whoever's around you. And it's not just about, being.
And you are an amazing MC.
You are an amazing person. We love you.
Great.
And and also even in the little things, I love getting little things, and for our Grand Prix, we did in Chicago, we did the little beam pins, something that they'll think of forever, that they'll have forever, something that's meaningful. It's a little something, but just the same that we're here for you.
Yeah.
We'll send little messages. We'll have little quotes for them. And all that, I'm like in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh, I gotta do this.
And I think
fun.
Yeah.
And it's only because So if they have that experience of that, hey, it's okay.
Right.
But we're constantly evolving too, which I think is cool about UBC and Shake, because the staff we have always have great ideas to give us, but we're also open to other, like studio owners and other people, and our judges bring us great ideas that we always try and incorporate and to evolve the company.
Yeah.
You know.
And we get, some things that, oh, you know what, we can do this better. How can we make this better?
Right.
Feedback's always great.
Right.
And if it's negative, is it positive?
Right.
Any negative is great because we want to be better.
Yeah.
We always want to be better. And we've...
But I think going back to the mentality as a dancer, negative comments are not, negative corrections are not a bad thing.
Right.
They make you better.
Yeah.
So and that's where we strive, I think, because as dancers we are able to take criticism.
Yeah.
And so we're able to apply that. And then positive things we can put in there. Like, for example, UBC, we created the 21st Century Division, which is not just the old classics that everyone competes. It's a new category where there's new, relevant choreographers from this generation that dancers are able to do. It's an up-and-coming category, and it's evolving and everything like that. And that's something
very exciting.
Yeah.
Because it's something that dancers and companies now work on.
Right.
So if a dancer in a competitive, it could only be for the senior competitive right now, because they're at that level that they're ready to go into hopefully a trainee position or something, in that, area, so that it's something that's challenging for them to try and learn the choreography, like of an Arpino,
Right.
of a Joel Arpino, or of Peter Chu, or
Right, and also at our Grand Prix, we bring in, like this year will be Peter Chu again, and he is a world-renowned choreographer, and that gives the dancers an opportunity to work with choreographers that are in the fields these days, choreographing on companies, that they get a taste of what it would like to be in a company. So.
And they learn the choreography in 4 days and perform it in the gala.
Yeah.
It's really, I love it because they're so challenged. They love it because they're working, learning with a new choreographer, and then they get to perform it at the gala, which is...
And the gala in Chicago really was breathtaking, and we got such positive feedback from everybody. It was such a beautiful event. So we kind of led into this, and we'll wrap this up soon, but so the preview for the upcoming season, we're all very excited about 2026. We have a lot of growth, a lot of changes. We have an event coming up in Shanghai, China that we're very excited about.
Me too.
Our Grand Prix is going to be in Houston this year. We have some changes to Shake the Ground. We're going to start implementing the classes at Shake. So what are some things that you're excited about for the upcoming season, and what can dancers expect for the upcoming season?
Well, we have Shanghai coming up now, December 12th to the 15th, and super excited about that, bringing it international, UBC there. We're looking forward to seeing, everyone over there performing and all, and with the classes that we offer. So we're excited to take it over there so that they can also experience what UBC can bring there. And the new season, we're just, can't wait. Honestly, it's going to be just phenomenal with all the scholarships. We have more scholarships to give out this season. More schools have come on board with us for Shake the Ground and UBC. And the Grand Prix is going to be in Houston, like you said.
Yeah.
That's going to be just, we're always moving it around because it is universal, so we're always moving it around.
We've added some new cities this year for UBC as well.
Yes, absolutely. And with Shake the Ground, with the convention, with the competition, the nationals, that's always fun and just fun. Phenomenal. And our themes are going to be great. Just hold on for that. That's going to be another for the books.
Yeah.
So we're really excited.
We love what we do. Great season.
We love what we do, and we're appreciative of the people that come to Shake the Ground and to UBC, because without them, we wouldn't, be able to do it.
We're grateful the studios believe in us and have the trust in us to bring their students to us, so we can do our best to inspire them. When they go back to the studio, they're inspired even more to be great for them. So that's kind of our goal, to do that. So we thank everyone and the studios for giving us this opportunity.
Absolutely, and our crew too. I always say that because we are grateful, appreciative of all that they do as well, because we all make it together. We're a team.
Yeah.
And, that's great. So thank you.
Well, thank you. And I just want to say personally, I feel like it has been such a blessing to come across your path. Like I said, you guys set such an amazing tone for everybody here. And I just feel very personally blessed to have met you guys and be on this journey with you. And I think this has been great. I think this has been very helpful. And one of we were talking about things innovating, even just this podcast,
Yeah.
I had a mom come up to me in the coffee shop earlier and said, "Oh, you guys give such interesting insight that we," and I think the important thing that like I said, the theme that I keep coming across is that everybody at this competition, everybody at UBC is rooting for the dancers and just want the best for them. And I think you two do a beautiful job of setting the tone for that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
everyone, this has been this week's episode of The Dancers Beat. It's been my honor to sit down and talk with David and Lissette Lucas. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on The Dancers Beat.